Captain Bubby here.
General quarters.
We're doing something a little different today. We're featuring a boat that we haven't featured in our video library so far. It's the Tier II Umikaze Japanese destroyer. It's quite an interesting little boat. It has two torpedo launchers, twin tubes each. Torpedoes aren't very powerful. They run about 8 kilometers and they're rather slow. We're on the Solomon Islands map. You'll see in a minute. We're in a morning battle. We're looking toward the northeast at a sunrise. And we're headed for the slot. Now this is an interesting battle because in the past I haven't done very well in Japanese destroyers, but really not very well at all in the Umikaze in particular. It's just a hard boat for me to play. With only 2 torpedoes, even though they run quite far, they're so slow that it's very difficult to hit anything because people get a quick look at the torpedoes and they're able to maneuver out of the way. We send them out anyway. This is a classic tactic on this map where the destroyers run into the slot, launch some speculative torpedoes, just hoping somebody's dumb enough to run into them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I never quite get that little glitch. You saw those twin puffs of black smoke out there. I don't know why that happens. It's just something that we've gotten used to here in the game. And I'm going to switch out of this mode back into the mode where you can see what I'm seeing here in the game. And now we can see the mini map and all the different players. I'm in a division with a guy named Snipe 2000, I think. And I didn't know him before tonight. We had played a battle a little bit earlier that turned out to be a one-on-one. And after I killed him, he said, "You want a division?" I said, "Sure." So we're playing together here. He's a relatively new player. He's over there on the Tier II Novik Russian cruiser. And I'm just kind of spinning around here looking for targets, trying to do a little spotting, kind of watching out for what's going on in the map. But what I do see here, and I don't get to warn him in time. We are on TeamSpeak, but I'm warning him. Don't go around that corner by yourself. You're likely to get a nasty surprise. He's off by himself, and if he meets a destroyer or one of the battleships or a tougher cruiser up there, he's going to be in a bad way. And he's too far ahead of me for me to get up and help him, so good luck up there, pal. It may not go well. Meanwhile, back in the slot, Commander Cody Sky Marshal and his Wicks out there is duking it out with some destroyers. A couple of battleships, and sure enough, my little buddy rounds the corner, runs smack into a set of torpedoes, and he is gone. I pop smoke because I don't know what's about to happen to me. Fire off a couple torpedoes and get out of dodge.
Smoke screen set.
It's not going to be healthy up there. Go back to my view. So yeah. So we're down 2 ships. We're behind in points. My little division partner's gone. I'll fire off a little area denial torpedo salvo here. Leave my smoke behind and generally vacate the area. That's a pretty valid tactic because those guys up there in the corner, they see the smoke, they see the torpedoes. They're going to see a couple more here. And I'm just making sure that they stay away from me. It's going to buy me a little time to get out of the neighborhood. Let them think about things, talk amongst themselves, have a cup of coffee, try and figure out what's going on, and whether or not it's worth it coming after a destroyer down here that they can't see. My detection range is pretty good. With 7-kilometer torpedoes, my detection range, we'll look at it here real quick, is 5.4, so I've got quite a bit of stealth. My guns even fire 6.7, although the guns typically on Japanese destroyers is pretty crappy till you get to the upper tiers, and I'm not at upper tier Japanese destroyers yet. So we generally don't use our guns very much in these destroyers unless we absolutely have to. Now I did land, we didn't see it there, but I did actually land one of those torpedoes on somebody and caused a flood. So we've got some damage. 6330 hit points we took away from somebody back there. I'm not sure who. If it had been the destroyer, we probably would have killed him. So it was probably that battleship back there. We'll find out later. Meanwhile, we're going to come back here to the slot. Yeah, let's take a look back there. 63, no, it wasn't the Nassau battleship, so it must have been, oh, it could have been the cruiser. Could have been that cruiser back there. If we had hit the destroyer, it might have killed him. So we did not hit that battleship. And there's the wicks. And 6,300, that would have killed, it would have pretty much wiped him out. So it must have been the cruiser that we hit. 8.6, even though he's out of torpedo range, he's coming toward me. 8.3 now. So I fire these because there's a chance he could run into one. But it's also a message to him that I'm still here, pal. And I see you. His detection warning probably went off anyway, so he knows I'm here. We got Nassau and Nassau action. Our Nassau has a pretty good angle. Here's the wicks. Yeah, he hasn't lost enough. 2571 of 8900, so that 6330 would have left him lower than that. So we didn't hit him either. The nice thing about this boat is that even though the torpedoes are slow and weak, they do reload quickly. So my reload time on the torpedoes, I forget what it is. I think it's about 24 seconds. I don't have all these stats memorized. Some of these guys that do YouTube videos have all the stats memorized. They know their ship and every other ship. Well, I'm a smart guy, but I'm not memorizing that kind of stuff. There, I did hit the Nassau that time. And he's going to flood a little bit. He cured it right away, so there's no extra. Oh, wait a minute. I hit another one. And the wicks is down. nice little feature here on the just above the mini map. It tells you who killed who and how they killed them. We're a little trouble here. He's got an idea where I am. But I'm just going to keep spamming torpedoes. I've detected again. So I'm going to make myself skinny. But there's two destroyers out here. Me, and I believe it's and I land another one. And I get another flood. And this flood is going to stick for a while. See the counter in the upper right hand corner? Keeps counting, so he's still flooding. So he had used his repair ability earlier, and now he's just got to let the damage accumulate. And we'll send him some more. 22, 22.7. So it's still ticking. He is still flooding. And there he goes. So he used his repair a little too early on the one of the first floods or fires, and didn't have it available when my torpedoes hit and flooded him again. And I landed another torpedo on the Smith and caused flooding again. And he's still flooding. So he must have used his repair as well, but he put it out now. He's got it under control. Oh, we kill him with guns. So the guns on this boat are effective. They just have a long reload time. And here's Commander Cody Sky Marshal. We're going to get revenge for our division partner here. Launch some torpedoes, launch some torpedoes. It's the beauty of this boat. They reload really fast, but then we say, ah, screw it. Let's just shoot him. Bad aim there. Swinging a miss completely. But we don't miss twice. So that's our third kill. And I thought things were going well about this time, and I looked up at the score and see that, oh no, Fluffy, we're tied on ships, but we're 20 points behind on the score. We have 2 destroyers and a battleship against a destroyer, a cruiser, and a battleship. 6.5 minutes left to go in the battle. And now it's just me and the battleship against 3 boats. And we've fallen even further behind. 461 to 366 now. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Their Nassau is really low on health. Ryan Payne. I'm looking, well, there's the Emden. So at least now I know where all of the enemies are. I'm going to send the welcoming party back there toward the slot. And bad news just got worse. It's now 1 against 3. Me against a Campbelltown, a Nassau, and that Emden back there in the slot. I gotta get rid of this guy first though. Because if he goes dark, I was gonna have problems. If I didn't know where that guy was, it was going to cause me real issues. So it's 1 against 2 now. 5 minutes left in the battle. I'm still 120 points behind. More presents for the Emden. The peanut gallery is cheering for me back there, over in chat, which is encouraging. I do take a quick peek. This is a low tier battle, so you don't find the same level of experience with these guys that you do at the higher tiers. These guys all make mistakes that more experienced players would not make. But he's doing the right thing. He's coming at me. He's a cruiser. His job, and cruisers are good at killing destroyers. He's got a high rate of fire. Got more guns than I do. And he's coming straight at me. I'm fighting a defensive tactical retreat battle here. Just weaving back and forth. I'm trying to get out of detection range, but he keeps seeing me. There, I drop out of detection. And as I retreat, I fire off torpedoes. He's firing blind and he gets a lucky shot, sets me on fire, and when that happens, my detectability increases. But I put it out and disappear from his radar again. No, he doesn't have radar, but I disappear from his crow's nest vision. And here I kind of decide, you know what? I'm thinking about it. Here I'm detected again. Still firing off torpedoes. I know he's going to shoot. Drop out of sight again, but he hits me again with a relatively blind shot. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm getting too close to the border. I'm running out of places to hide. I can't retreat any further. If I hit the border, it's going to cut my speed. I'm detected. It's time to bum rush this guy. So I'm going to head straight at him. I'm going to wiggle and waggle. Stay as skinny as I can. My torpedoes are back. He hits my engine. I'm going to let that wait for just a second. But I do have last stand. Take a narrow spread on the torps. Fire them off. Boom. There's my Kraken. 2 hits, 2 defenses, 2 floods, and now it's just me and the Nassau. And he's on pretty low health. I've just been detected. My torpedoes are back. Now as a battleship, he's got a 24-second reload, but his secondary range is 4 kilometers. So at this point, even though he doesn't have main guns, his secondaries are going to open up. 1 torpedo spread, 2 torpedo spread. He's taking my engine out again. Last stand is saving me because I can still turn. I still have a little bit of engine power. I'm just hoping those torpedoes are true. Yeah, they're screaming at me, get out of secondary range. I'm trying. They're 4.1, his secondaries will stop shooting. Fires his main guns. They miss. That would have ended the game right there if he'd hit those torpedoes. Game over. Alrighty then, we'll take a quick look at the battle results. And I did the math wrong earlier. It was the wicks that I hit with that early torpedo. His max health pool is 8,900 minus 6,330 was about 2570, 71 or so. So when I looked at it a little bit further and dug out the calculator, it turned out he was the one that my first random torpedo hit. scored on. So overall, we did 45,000 damage. Only 5 gun hits, but they were really critical. We killed 3 ships with those 5 target hits with guns. Landed 8 torpedoes, 7 floods, got an incapacitation, sunk 6 ships, which is a pretty good total for a Tier II destroyer. Got a fire and defended the cap 4 times. There were some missions running gold, bronze, and silver. Means that we actually, in this particular set of missions, we scored in the top 3. So when you score first on your team, you collect all 3 of those prizes. We did pretty well, and even our 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th players on our team all scored higher than the top player on the enemy team. That Campbelltown did pretty good. The Nassau did pretty good, and that earlier Wicks, he didn't do so good. Damage-wise, our main battery, we only caused 1840 with high explosive shells, but we did over 30,000 damage with torpedoes. 12,000 of that was flooding. So we did pretty good there. The flooding really was what added up in that game. And credits, 6,100 credits for our commander and over 5,000 for our ship. So all in all, it was a pretty nice battle. Hope you enjoyed it. Come back and see me again. It's Captain Bubby saying, until we see each other on the open water, keep your life jacket handy. We're out of here.